All right, good. That was a conversation backstory,
Yes.
kind of dual episode.
Right.
And
Canary isn't dead.
Canary's not dead. One, she was also Killua's potentially first friend.
Right.
She
Even though
also
she wouldn't say so.
Right.
You know.
She potentially was the setup to where Killua was ready to have a friend with Gon.
Sure.
Also, maybe Killua wanting to see the outside world, and what set him on the path to break away from his parents was a little bit of Canary's influence there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that that at least does answer some questions that I had about, like, okay, because, you know, an apprentice butler and all the stuff they can do, and, you know, and all that stuff. I was just like, wow, they're just killing her like that. That seems like, you know, destroying an investment at the very least, you know, even if they want to think about it in a cold way. Like,
yeah, so it kind of feels a little bit out of place that she even shot him at all. Like, I mean, her.
Yeah.
Canary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does feel kind of out of place. Almost like it was just done for shock value.
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious. Like, was the point that Canary was going to say something? I think it was that Canary was about to say something.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, don't say that.
Right.
And maybe they were planning on solving the problem, you know, getting rid of them there. But then she freaks out and somehow telepathically, or maybe through the machine in her eyes,
probably what it is,
gets a
memo.
Like a memo, like, Killua's about to talk to Silva, his father, and she's like, no.
Well, I think it was that Killua's grandpa,
Zeno let him
basically
free.
Let him go.
But she was saying, no, not yet, he just came back, and then she mentioned Silva being involved somehow. So I think...
Right.
So
it's probably that, like, he had to talk to Silva because, like, Silva's his dad, so whether he can, like, leave the house. But Zeno basically said, okay, no, like,
this is dumb.
Yeah, this is dumb. He can, he can break...
Which is cool, because I like that they all have different wills. It makes them as a family way more interesting and believable, even though they're already a ridiculously unbelievable family of assassins.
Right. Yes.
This grounds them a little more real in that the mom is kind of a stereotypical helicopter mom. Mm-hmm. The dad is a little bit distant and kind of unsympathetic, like he's not very feelings oriented, and he
probably only did that here because it was useful.
but he's still wise in that he understands that this is something Killua desires, so he's trying to maybe get on his good side for, like you said, to maybe manipulate him later.
Sure.
And then Zeno, of course, just doesn't give a crap, and
because he's the old guy, but he's not the oldest.
He's not the oldest. That's true. There's a great grandpa, and we didn't get to see him yet, so we could be done here. If they meet up in the next episode.
And hey, this is something like what they did with the tournament, you know, where you think it's going to be some crazy thing, but then it's like, no, but it actually gets resolved a lot faster.
That is a good point. Could there still be some fights? Say the mom just defies the father.
I could see there being one more fight. It could also not necessarily be a like an actual angry fight. It could be like a sparring fight, like maybe like
possibly
like I don't know if Illumi's home right now, but no, I don't think he is.
No,
but,
it's not.
But there could be something where, like, you know, to be like, okay, Killua, you know, but have you learned anything since you left, or you know, just to whatever, I don't know.
I think it would be good for the next episode to give a little bit of direction as to
where they're going
next.
Yes,
and maybe if there isn't anything specific with that means that we're not done here necessarily.
Yes, exactly, because the way this episode left it seemed that the majority of the conflict was resolved. Right. So the next episode they'll have to introduce the new conflict, whether it's somewhere else or whether it's lingering conflicts with like the mom or something like that.
I could see the mom actually going around the father, since the father seems to be a little bit segregated from things,
sure,
and just going, no, I want Killua stopped, I want him brought back here with force, and then gone Killua and them have to fight their way to get out of the estate. That could be kind of cool.
That could be cool. I get the feeling though that isn't going to happen, because that will, or at the very least, I don't think the father
Silva
he would be very much opposed to that, because he's wanting to leave it to be this thing where Killua will come
but
back
I was saying he
accord.
would know.
Sure,
do it without his knowledge.
Sure, he might not know, but then there's also Zeno and like
I like that little bit just to jump subjects, I love that little bit with Kaluto. The younger sister. You see, you can't tell gender in HunterxHunter, but just the littler one. Mm-hmm. The face that kind of came onto Kaluto's kind of... just with the idea of friends.
Yes, right. And the idea that she stayed behind, like... And then, then of course...
Well, she's curious.
Well, yeah, she's curious.
When you're young, you're curious.
Well, right. Yeah. And I loved that, but I also loved the idea of the exasperated mom, saying like, Kaluto, get back here. Yeah. Like, she's already having trouble helicoptering one of her children, right? She's not going to, have it spread to one of the others.
Kaluto, yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's why she's freaking out so much about Killua, is that Killua has all this potential, like they were talking about. Like, he's the chosen one of the Zoldyck family, basically. Which
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either. But by them saying that, and everyone knowing that, that kind of puts the actions of Killua to have a lot of weight within the family. Because then...
that's true, because then it's not just the... Like, otherwise it could be, just chalked up to like, oh, the 12-year-old is having a temper tantrum,
It's like, no, the heir to our whole family is potentially...
like, this could be an
breaking tradition.
Right.
And I could see that being a very interesting bit where Killua has a theme moving forward of breaking tradition with his assassin past.
Yeah, okay.
But occasionally falling back into the old ways when it is... when there's a very difficult conflict,
right? Because that is
he has to rely on.
That's
that.
What he knows, right? All the other stuff is very much
new. But he's not close-minded. One of the things I thought would be actually kind of annoying with Killua is that if he's an assassin and he's got this very rigorous, upbringing of the way he's been, he would be quick to kind of contradict the ways of other people as being stupid. Because they're not like the way he was brought up.
Sure, possibly.
Which is something to where he hasn't been doing that. If anything, he's been observing a lot.
Right, because he's very aloof most of the time.
He's very aloof, but I feel like he's actually a really big learner. Like, he is the kind of person that's always absorbing.
Okay.
He's constantly gathering
And that's probably why he has so much potential, because he's just a learning machine.
Yeah, exactly. I could see that being not necessarily like some aspect of his abilities, but just that he's incredibly intelligent in his creative quotient, basically.
Right. Whereas, say, someone like Mill, like the crazy idea of a mosquito with a
he had to be able to make a bomb that's synthetic, that's that small. And he's probably very book savvy and intelligent there.
It's that idea that there's a lot of smarts there, but not necessarily a lot of adaptability.
Or even a lot of wisdom.
Sure,
There's no experience.
Right, wisdom being like the application of
experience.
Yeah, right. Right, whereas Killua seems so removed, it seems like he's willing to change his plans at the drop of a hat.
Sure, that's another interesting point. Killua is willing to change, and maybe it's that he's seen enough already to where
he knows that's what you need to do.
It's kind of bored. Like,
okay.
Like the idea that he's like, I see everything my family has to offer, and I'm bored. It doesn't seem interesting anymore. So him taking the hunter's exam is basically like, I'm going to find the coolest thing I can do and
see if it's interesting.
And see if that's actually interesting. And he came back to his dad and it's like, it was easy. And it's like, whoa. I like the idea of potentially having Killua being stronger than the main character by like a huge margin, at least for now.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that Gon is eventually going to be very, very, very strong, but it's that Killua right now is the strongest. It creates that dual main character kind of setup.
Yes, and that it adds to the idea of the power ceiling. But then it also it'll just make the conflict feel a lot more real, because if the main character is the strong one, then you know that any time the main character is around, then things will go, as well as they can, right? Whereas if the main character isn't the strong one, then you're wondering, is Killua there, right? And if he's not there, which a lot of the time he just isn't.
And also it's like, will he actually interact?
Exactly.
Will he do
Yes,
anything?
because he's so aloof.
Right.
So it keeps the conflict alive for Gon and Karapika and Leorio.
Right.
which is very much a good
Which is good, because otherwise I could see Leoria and Kurapika being completely left by the wayside in 20 episodes or so. But either way, I'm excited to see what the next episode is.
Me too.
I think the main gist of this story is that they brought up the whole idea of friends being basically the people that kind of understand you. Like you could see that the mom was unable to understand Killua.
Right.
The dad made an attempt to.
Yes, he put the effort forward.
Yes, he for the first he found out that is something that Killua's dealing with, so he lets him go essentially.
Right. It's that thing where it's like what was it? From Lost. Congratulations, John. You made them think it was their idea.
Oh, sure.
The idea that sometimes the best manipulators manipulate people in such a way so that the people don't know they're being manipulated.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Silva is not able to predict exactly what's going to happen.
Sure, yeah.
But he knows that Killua's nature will make it harder for him to have friends than others. So maybe the idea is that he thinks he'll end up losing these friends. He thinks he'll end up forsaking these friends. He thinks he'll end up failing them.
Maybe it's something that, like, from his own experiences, where maybe he did something similar.
Sure.
So he's saying, I think I know how this is going to go.
Right.
When he sees enough of the world, or when certain things happen that are just bound to happen.
Back.
Yeah, he'll come back.
And he'll be more jaded. He'll be more easy to...
Right, exactly.
He'll be more predictable.
Well, yeah, because when, just going around in, our world, right? Mm-hmm. Over time, you do tend to get a little bit more jaded if you just compare, like, a 5-year-old to a 25-year-old, right?
Quite a lot, I would say.
When student loans settle in and everything.
Anyway, too real. Yeah. But the aspect that Gon and Killua already share some sort of understanding, like Killua noting, that they are actually going to make it there, and Gon, I would say, his more confidence in the fact that they are friends. One of the things I've seen a lot of main characters do is kind of the constant doubt thing when they have that friend and stuff. They're like, but what will they think? Like, what will they...
Right, and
you never get any of that from Gon because I don't think we get really into his head almost ever.
Right, but also at the same time, Gon is he's a very straightforward person. I was going to say he's a very simple person, but that would be doing him a disservice. But he is a straightforward person. Mm-hmm. And that fits in very well with the fact that he is 12, right? So it's not, there's not going to be all that doubt of, are they actually my friend or not, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Because it's, he's still in that simpler time, even though he's in this crazy world where there's families of assassins that, chain up their children and all that.
Oh, boy. Do you feel like the Zoldyck family will be big in the distant future? Like, they will be big in the story that way?
Yes, but I don't know how distant.
Okay, because I get the feeling that they will not be much relevant, like, after this little visit.
Sure, yeah. After this, like, in the immediate future, no, I don't think so. But the way they set it up, like, especially if they end it here, if they don't have a whole lot of extra conflict with, like, the mom or something, they are totally setting it up, like I was saying they might before, where they are making sure to keep a lot of things hidden and not show too much. That way they retain that element of mystery about them.
Sure. Do you think they're going to show more family members in the next episode?
Yeah, I could see them doing that. They don't have to, but I could see them doing that.
Yeah, there's a really big guy in one of the silhouettes that I feel like we haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
that might have been.
That was probably Silva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Not sure though.
No, I think so because I think the person had sort of like a lot of hair.
A lot of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He felt like a character out of JoJo, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He really did.
I would be interested in seeing, like, given that this show came out when it did, and the anime being much newer than the actual manga material, I wonder if there will be any crossover with references to that in particular.
There are JoJo's references everywhere, apparently. Possibly. So
I'm noticing a lot of things that are HunterxHunter staples end up being other show staples, which is also kind of cool.
That's interesting to find. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other than that, though, I feel like this is we're pretty much done in terms of discussion. Like, I can't think of anything else really specific to this. It's more like discussing episodes prior to it.
Right. The episode was straightforward, but it was really good because they had some emotional moments in there, and we did meet a lot of new characters.
Yeah, we got way more depth with Killua than I think we have since episode 21 or something, when the tournament thing ended.
Right.
Yeah, that was the biggest depth moment, and I think this was depth.
This is probably the runner-up. Yeah,
just showing him as a really young kid, and the fact that he's been killing since then is something. But also finding out that he was actually capable of friends.
Mm-hmm. And developing Canary along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's actually alive. So we get to see Canary alive, guys. That's awesome. I'm glad that she didn't die back there.
Right, she didn't die when she got killed.
Exactly. All right, guys. If you want to watch the next 2 episodes of HunterxHunter, check out the link in the description below for our Patreon's early access. Get on that, and we'll be able to talk with you also on Discord if you get the app and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you all later. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.